Several days ago, I was looking at a poem by Richard Wilbur, the great formalist poet of our tradition, who has been the inspiration of many in his work. And I was thinking this week also about another poem of Wilbur's called Two Voices in a Meadow. A very short poem, but also one whose implications just continue to unfold. So it comes in two parts. First, a milkweed, and then a stone. So these are the two voices in the meadow. A milkweed. Anonymous as cherubs over the crib of God. White seeds are floating out of my burst pod. What power had I before I learned to yield? Shatter me, great wind. I shall possess the field. A stone. As casual as cow dung, under the crib of God. I lie where chance would have me, up to the ears in sod. Why should I move? To move befits a light desire. The sill of heaven would founder, did such as I aspire. I love this. It's got the two essential qualities of being, the spiritual and the solid. It's almost as though it's spirit and flesh in the milkweed and the stone, but also spirit and law. So many things keep crowding into this. But notice over the crib of God, there's a sense of the nativity to this poem. Anonymous as cherubs over the crib of God. So you think of that Christmas night, but here he's describing the milkweed. I know you've seen the pod of the milkweed. Again, this might be something that Wilbur would see more often in New England than we see out here in Wyoming. But the milkweed pod, when it bursts open, scatters these zillions of white seeds that float on the wind. And look at the question. What power had I before I learned to yield? Shatter me, great wind. I shall possess the field. Real Pentecostal feeling to that natural image that Wilbur's working with there. And then the stone, also in the same field or the same meadow. As casual as cow dung under the crib of God. You think of the beasts, who occupy the stable in Bethlehem. I lie where chance would have me, up to the ears and sod. Love that, up to the ears when you're thinking about the stone. Why should I move? To move befits a light desire. So the gravity, the gravitas of this stone, the sill of heaven would founder, did such as I aspire. Couldn't be more different, the milkweed and the stone, and couldn't be more full of implications, not only for the metaphors that Wilbur's dealing with, but I think also for our spiritual enlightenment. So this is the kind of poem that in its initial simplicity continues to open up with implications and delightful ones. There's nothing like the pleasure that comes from the simplicity of a poem like this one.